Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday, April 12th. We got the defensive positional heroes coming out tomorrow. What I'm going to do today is just go over the top three things. I did record this earlier, but something screwed up. I didn't realize it, so I am re-recording it. And just realize in the comment section or the description of this video, I do put in a recap that you can just look at and look over. And at the end of this video, I am going to put a link to 4 different things. One's to subscribe and like. Another one is going to be the Pack and Play series by Toke, where he plays seasons and just opens packs as his team for his team. He starts with a bronze team, opens up a few packs, and just uses those players in place. It is friggin' hilarious. Another one is going to be That Mutt Gamer. He had a good, and all of his are good, and I do subscribe to his station, and I recommend that you do too. But one of his, he had a pretty good idea about sniping from the positional hero. So it's easy, and it's something that might not work today, but it should work tomorrow and Saturday. And then the last one is going to be Mutt Financial by Johnny's Angels. I've been listening to that one for, I think he's had 9 episodes. I think I've listened to all 9 of them. I have learned a lot. They do have more coins than me, and they've been doing this a lot longer. I don't always agree with them, but they do give you some good insight. And what you can do is you can take that insight and do what they say, or come up with your own players. And that's kind of what I do. I take a little bit of everything. So we got 3 things we're going to go over. Number 1, when these heroes come out, look for the power-ups. And when I mean power-up players, I mean look for the players that, let's see, have power-ups. Now, I think it's going to be too late, but you never know if one, fell below the radar. So like this one right here, it would be this card right here. If they did come out with him for a positional hero and he was a 98 with the power up, you make him a 99. This card would go up to 5,800K. And the Mutt Financial Exchange, Johnny's Angels, they're the ones that taught me that. The elites, they will go up, but because there's so many of them, and I've tried investing in them, they're not worth it. It's just too much risk, because if it doesn't pan out, they go down, and all you can do is use them for an elite token. So I don't recommend just the core elites, but the specialty cards, the promo cards, that's definitely what I recommend if you can get them right. And when I mean right, I'm not saying spend 150 and make that type of risk, because you don't know. But if you see them out there for 30 to 50, and you anticipate it's going to be another player is going to come out, then maybe do that. So beware as they come out, and I haven't seen it yet, and it's past 2 o'clock now. So they haven't put anything on Twitter like they did last week yet, but they will today. The other thing, when you're buying players for the positional heroes, for the defensive, as I've gone over before, you just have to be careful, because you might see a core elite for 18 grand, an 86. But if there's an Easter Scramble promo card at that same position, you're going to be able to get it for 8. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It happens. People just, you forget about the Easter Scramble. And, defensive tackles, there's 86 to 90s. Left outside linebacker, middle linebacker, there's a 93. Strong safety, there's a 92. So whether it's a 91 or a 91 or above, or 90 or less, just make sure that there's no Easter Scramble players. And if you are looking, make sure that the Easter Scramble players are in your filter. Don't filter them out by doing just core elite. Okay? I'm telling you, I mean, I've sold some cards today for 19K, which are same position as Easter scrambles. And you get them for 8 or 10, but I just had some core elites and I put them out there and people bought them. So just beware there. And then the other thing, tomorrow, tonight, people are going to be selling their cards and upgrading, especially once they find out the players. Everybody has favorite players that they want. They're all going to be newer players. They're all going to be 98s. So what you want to do is you want to look for, let's see if there's any out there, for promo cards that Ultimate Legends, not all the cards from the combine, but the ones that you have to put together that you didn't get for free. Let me just check. So we're going to go in real quick, and we're going to go to 96, 97s and middle linebacker. This is a position that's going to be, you just don't know what's going to happen with this position. If they came out with two, it's going to change everything if they only come out with one. So like Ryan Shazier, he's down to 255. I've seen him in as low as 240 yesterday. This morning he was at 290. This is a card, if it drops, one, it's a good card to buy for your team if you need a middle linebacker. And it's a safe play, I think, at 250. But if this thing comes down to 210, you got to buy them. And, this is a 275 to 300 card, no matter what, unless you're talking maybe a month from now. But because of his speed, that's what really sets him apart. He's a 93 speed. That Mike Singletary Ultimate Legend is a 90. Yes, Mike Singletary is better overall, but the 93 speed is really nice to have. The other one, so you want to look at those free safeties, strong safeties, cornerbacks, and defensive tackles. And what you're going to see is you'll see these dip. People are going to say, all right, I know I want that player, so now I'm going to get rid of my defensive tackle. And you're going to see some selling maybe tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow. I would say tomorrow between 4 and 8 would be the peak. You'll see some early in the day, but not everybody can do that. And you got to complete those solos to get those 94s and fill up those, unless people have 1,000 cards in their deck and they've already prepared to fill up a set, which 50 cards and then another, 40 cards. It's like 100 cards. Doesn't make any sense. But, like this card right here, this is a good card. I saw it at 135 this morning. I didn't buy. I'm trying to not buy anything right now because I have to sell. So that's really what I'm working on now. But I saw that at 135. It's a buy at 135. But if you see that drop down to 110, you get on that. Get on it. Then the other one, I haven't checked this one today. I put this in the notes a couple days ago. This is the one that I would love to see, and it is. All right, I called this, I don't know, Monday, that he would go under 5. Here's what happens. I sold one on Saturday for 587. He shot back up to 670. So people were buying them for 580, 570. And then they were putting them, and this is why the market fluctuates, because people think that a certain number is a good deal, and we're all guilty of it, and sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. And then we put them up there at a higher price. After all those bottom ones have been absorbed, especially if there's a limited amount, it drives up the price. Cards like Wooly Lanier, where there's only going to be a limited amount, look, there's 4, 9, 14 of them. This card right here, It's a good card. I had it, like I said, I sold it for 587. I thought it was going to drop down, and I was right. So, he's got the 91 speed, zone coverage 92 compared to Singletary at 87. And, block shedding is the only thing, but I mean, you might blitz with him, but he's good. He's a 98. He's the only 98 middle linebacker in the game until tomorrow. It's the only one. There's no other one. So this has already dropped down to 495, and I did call that it would go down under 500. I did think it would be yesterday, but it's going to be today. I think tomorrow you might see this drop down to 450. If you have the coins. If you don't have a million coins, 2 million coins, 3 million plus coins, I'm not saying buy it. Because you want to use those coins to be, you got to work with what you got to work with. So if you have 500,000 coins, you should be buying players in that 30 to 50K range, flipping those, and until you get up to a million. And then when you get up to a million, then you can go up to the 80 to 100s and so forth. When you're playing up here in these amounts, and if I sold all my cards, I could play here, but this is the top of the top. This is risky. I tried. I bought a Chris Johnson for 300 and a Michael Vick for 410, and one a Michael Vick for 380. I sold the Michael Vick for 380 for 450. Still trying to get rid of the one for 410, just to free up some coins. And Chris Johnson I bought for 3 days ago, and it just hasn't gone back up. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm going to try to break even on those and free up some coins. This is a good card though, so this is one to look at if you have the coins. But really, you just want to hover in these 96 to 97s, not the Mud Heroes, the Ryan Shaziers, the Ultimate Legends. Let's see. And you kind of want to stay with defense. If you see this Steve Atwater, if you see this Steve Atwater dump down to 200, that's a buy, regardless of the chemistry. But if you see it at 210 with the toughness chemistry, that's a steal, and that'll jump back up. That's a great card. I mean, that's a really good card. The Jones, if you see this down to 130, that's a steal. So I mean, at 168, 170, I think that's the number. I think the quality of the card is actually 220, but because of the supply, it's a 175 card. So just be aware of that. You want to sell your defense that are going to be used in the positional heroes, but you want to buy the defensive players that aren't going to be used in those packs. And those are going to be Ultimate Legends and Team of the Year cards. And we'll just real quick look at 94, 95s, and then we're going to be done. So nothing crazy here. I always like to go to middle linebacker. This middle linebacker, the thing with this position, it matters. It matters to everybody. It matters to everybody. So hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out those links. And until next time, all the best.